Hey guys, as always Deni, it's the perfect time to get stuck in some fantasy world, and there's a lot of worlds out there, especially if you play alone. Well, I'll give you a nice pack of interesting single-player games with maximum immersion. Click on the like, click on subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go. Do you miss adrenaline and dynamic gameplay? The perfect place to get it all? Good old Crossout. Tense battles, dozens of different vehicles, and hundreds of parts for their customization are waiting for you. You can make a powerful, bulletproof tank and destroy your enemies just by the look of it. Or make something smaller, but fast, and get in the back of unsuspecting enemies. In any case, Crossout is the best place to show everyone who is a real pro. Download the game at the link in the description. To begin, I suggest Age of Wonders 4, which I myself have been playing for the third day in a row. In order for you to easily understand what this game, it is a heroes of sword and magic crossed with civilization, and all this in a fantasy world. You are waiting for pumping your city and your empire, and then there is the main character, aka the ruler, which is pumped, dressed, and so on. And in the game you are waiting for a lot of different races, which are also modified in the course of the game. That is, you started there for the elves, went on the way to destroy everything and succumbed to the power of dragons and therefore became dragons themselves. And that's it. Now your subjects have become dragon elves, changed appearance, and they have new abilities. Cities develop, territories are captured, and so on. All in all, a masterpiece. I'm getting the most out of it. Maybe a little look at what's going on in the Wild West? No. If anything, I'm not suggesting to go to Red Dead Redemption 2 and go through Arthur Morgan's plot in a circle, although it's not a bad idea. But this time, I suggest you take a look at Evil West, especially because there are a lot of different monsters and a lot more action than in the same Red Dead Redemption. Good graphics, not bad plot, and if you suddenly have one friend in reserve, you can enjoy it in co-op. I won't go over it too much, it's just a good example of what games should be like without DLC and working well right from the start. A small set of weapons, but all are pumpable. But a lot of bloodshed and overall fun. And this is the Harry Potter universe. If you suddenly missed the game or it somehow flew past you, then to understand you. This is an open world RPG in Harry's universe. The character you have here is different, your own create, but everything else here in place. Familiar places, territories, spells, and secrets. The level of nostalgia, if you love the series of movies or books, will be just off the scale. In general, I advise you to immerse yourself. I propose the smallest break, where we, for the girl Yasna, will be trying to save the crew of our scientific expedition on some strange planet, Regis 33. This is science fiction based on Lem's book. It's a Firewatch-like romp, but with much more extensive locations, nice graphics, interactive environment, and large-scale plot. Great art design, excellent voice actors, good animations, sound, nice ambient, incredibly careful attention to detail in general, and to Lem's original work in particular. The presence of several endings and achievements will allow you to replay this thing with pleasure, and in the process of passing more and more absorbed in the experience for our protagonist. All in all, a great game. We can make a bloody meat and shit from the horror. You can go, of course, to the remake of Dead Space, but better in Callisto Protocol, because the level of cruelty and blood in it is just off the scale. In fact, it's even hard to imagine a more brutal game. And Mortal Kombat with fatalities and all this stuff was not even close to it. Everything is more powerful here. In the beginning, the game was a little pooed because of optimization, but now everything is more than okay. I tried to get the anime buzz out of the way today, but this game is definitely worth trying out, especially if you haven't experienced JRPGs before. This one will be a gentle dive into the genre, and you'll get a rough idea of how it works. Moreover, this part is combined with Devil May Cry gameplay. With its endless action, there are a lot of characters in the game, but the main ones are Alphen and Cheyenne, so you'll mostly follow them. And to give you an idea of what's in store for you, it's an action game about a team of Persians, who during their adventure adventures become a family for each other and for us too. An extremely enjoyable game. How about adding a little bit of challenge? We can arrange that in this or the next game. Here in front of you is the beautiful Remnant 2. Well, to go into it solo or with friends will be just perfect. Moreover, the developers released a new small add-on not so long ago and brought a new location, character, and some other little things. It's not fat, but it's nice. And so, if you haven't played it, create your character, craft a mountain of weapons, and suffer, because you will suffer a lot, especially if you play with friends and on higher difficulty. And so, beautiful, cool, and diverse. The second difficult game I mentioned is the story of Pinocchio. Of course, yes, you can go to Elden Ring again, but if you want a little more unique style and not a bad story, welcome here. Des awaits Bloodborne on PC in the world of Pinocchio. It's beautiful, pumping, with Souls-like elements known to one and all and great difficulty. I'd argue a little bit about the difficulty though, because I recently replayed Sekiro Shadow Die twice and there the difficulty is much higher than here, but maybe I'm just used to such games and they all are not really difficult, but so really nice game. Wartales. What a pleasure it is for me to show this game in videos, you would know. First, a living world living on its own. Second, the combat system, turn-based, with a normal set of tactical experiments. Thirdly, characters should be hired, loved, and cherished, because if they die, it's with the ends. Well, and most importantly, the fact that the developers are constantly finalizing the game. For example, now they released a major update about pirates, and now you have the opportunity to sail on ships and fight on them. A lot of new explorations, secrets, and treasures are waiting for you. New characters and the plot is further advanced. All in all, a perfect game. And this is Disco Elysium, one of the best and not standard RPG of our time. Even with the existence of Baldur's Gate 3, this game remains original and cool. A detective story awaits you with unique graphics and a plot in which you influence what your story will come to. You can be a good detective or a villain and just kick people. Huge amount of skills, the world with live people, a lot of hardcore. In general, a masterpiece that still need to look for. To plunge into such a thing is definitely worth it. Before you is a game that is better than Diablo 4, although it came out much earlier. At the same time, the developers throughout this time finalized the game. It is getting better every day and the reviews are great. I've played it myself for 50 hours and I can say that it's great. Different characters, a variety of pumping, a branch of talents for absolutely every skill, which change these skills along and across. Variability is the middle name of this game. Well, and visually it looks great. Of course you can go to Skyrim. Well, here probably don't even need to explain why. Cool world, atmosphere, used to, you just can. But if you want something new, then go for Elex 2. It seems to me a bit unfair that many people don't know about it and just missed it. It's a vintage, as well as a bit wooden but lame RPG with a completely open world. Here are not bad quests, nice shooting, especially with a shotgun, different factions are there, to which you can join, and a lot of all sorts of different tricks. In general, not deservedly neglected thingy. Yes, even RPG at the end of the video, a lot, I understand. But it is much more interesting than mindlessly playing shooters, especially when there is such an RPG. Good old Amalur, only slightly remade. In fact, it's hard to call it a full-fledged remaster, but the game is fine without it. If you're a fan of long leisurely RPGs in the spirit of listen to every NPC you meet, do all the tasks and look under every bush you meet, you will have something to do here. And if you just like to swing your sword cheerfully and not think about anything, suddenly you'll like it too. It's almost as enjoyable here as in any slasher. I'd also suggest you check out this Obsidian creation called Tyranny. It is an isometric party RPG. Here, we get the role of the Doomsayer, a trusted confidant of a tyrant ruler named Kairos, and so we go to the far corner of the Empire to proclaim the tyrant's magical edict. It's kind of a powerful kind of magic. We have quite a lot of power in our hands, so our protagonist can be rude to almost any dignitary, execute many people or pardon them, make alliances with factions and then betray them, or bring together groups of people who were allies yesterday. As a result, we can either remain loyal to Kairos and punish those who do not agree with his tyranny, or we can try to act peacefully and according to our conscience, but even in this option, we can't do without executions and murders. And this is another detective game that you can get sucked into. A game about a detective diver, if I may say so. Well, here is Cthulhu. Everything is dark, scary, and with tentacles. The only thing is that the developers released the game with a large number of bugs at the start, although now most of them have been fixed. But the variety is certainly not enough, and it starts to catch your eye somewhere in the middle of the game. But in general, it's okay, so that you understand what awaits you here, the man goes crazy, and in addition, he learns about the city, in which people with various deviations similar to his leave. In this town, it rains all the time, it's dirty, everyone's gloomy and drunk. That's the city we're going to walk around. I hope you found something good for you, and therefore you clicked on the like and subscribe too. Well, I was with you as always, Deni, and have a nice day.